Sir, I am meeting immediately around now 10:30. I will give you a call after this. I also you can understand that the thing is under process to be is not yet gone to sleep. Yes, yes. If there is not a delay because currently some delays happening at the end of the leaves. I will give you a call after 7:45. My situation at 45. What's your copy that you have? Yes. And the case of continues here. I'm going to put around 56 million now. Now we got to put 960. Right? So continuing from where we left yesterday, see, business operating within the society and essentially the evolution we all accepted that is that yes for money making business exists. One of the reasons is making money, making the process creation of wealth. At the same time, because the way we operate, there are also going to be essentially the kind of continuous interactions we have seen already, the stakeholders who are involved into this entire exercise. And how do we kind of manage the various interests and ensure that there is a kind of a balance. Now, when we talk about a business, the vision, mission, the values, these become the critical points of consideration, and this is what is, brought about in a nutshell, if you look into it, strategic alignment questions. What are the strategic alignment questions? These are, what business are we in? Who is our customer? What are our core competencies? What is our product or service? But then, you look into these two questions, the blue, written in blue. What business are we in and what are our core competencies? If you look at these two, the two questions, what business are we in and what are our core competencies, are inherent and relating to the organization. And what is our product or service? This product or service is essentially an offering which goes to your customers, right? And who is your customer? So this is something which is relating to the business process. Who is going to benefit, who is going to pay for your product service, and what is the kind of a relationship. So if you look into this, the vision will give you an idea of what is the business all about. What is our essential purpose, what will we become, and then the mission part of it is more pinpointed. What is our strategic purpose for operating? So given variety of options, various businesses which you can pursue, the mission of a particular organization will boil down to those specific plans which you are going to talk about for the immediate and for the next few years, which will come under your planning horizon. What I mean by planning horizon is, what are you planning to do now and maybe next year or 2 years? It depends upon the way you are doing your planning, the process, the time span, what you are taking into consideration.
So mission keeps changing.
The mission will get altered based upon the environment, the developments, the changes which take place. in the environment. So vision will be definitely be reviewed. Vision is something which is a very, very long drawn out plan program. Something like if you were to look into how do you exactly define the vision of the Tatas? They are into such kind of multiple businesses. So the vision of them is essentially going to be creating something which will work well for all the stakeholders. So they will be, say they are into steel, they are into what chemicals, they are into food products, airlines, one variety of diverse interests. Similarly, the conglomerate, all groups which are into multi-products, multi-dimensional aspects, or they operate across the globe, global corporations. The vision will be a very, very broad-based definition of something like what are we as an organization, and what would you like to become. Mission is specifically talking in terms of strategic purpose for operating and arising out of values, what we've been talking about, because the entire system is operated with a whole lot of stakeholders, and who are they? Ultimately all human beings with whom we interact. In that situation, the values part of it always define what do we stand for and believe in, what standards can be used to evaluate and judge us. That means you need to sort of, set out something which the stakeholders also understand whether they should look at doing business with you, how can they possibly synergize with you, can they align with you, they can trust you. See, look at why do employees look at the prospective employer, and what should they understand about the value system of this organization, how does it work. So let's look into it. I've given you a couple of organizations in this particular value mission statements. We are talking about one company. Now, I'm not saying that this is all comprehensive, but just for our analysis purpose, for our understanding purpose, let us look into Levi Strauss, a product which is consumed by people across the globe. Yes or no? I thought it may be relevant that we look into the values, what have evolved, and how this particular organization has grown, and how do they relate to the markets in which they operate globally. So, just look into the particular paper, what I've given you. And it's just the statement as given by the organization, its exact reprint. What's it? Values. Our values are fundamental to our success. They are the foundation of a company, define who we are, and set us apart from the competition. They underlie our vision of the future, our business strategies and our decisions, actions and behaviors. We live by them, they endure. This particular model, the question, the way they interaction, they relate. Have you seen this arrow marks, which are flowing both ways? That means one has connection with the other. It's a loop. It's not that it is one way. It's a cause and effect. Both affect and get affected. Both of them. They will affect each other. Now, when you are talking about your competencies, how are you going to make use of it for your specific customer, and what is the product and service that will be decided by your core competencies. That means what are your inherent strengths of the organization. And when we talk about what is the vision of that organization, will sort of define what are businesses you can possibly look into, because you have to look at what is strategy. It's not a strategy class, so I will not talk to you much on strategy, but a strategy has got several components, like what are your core competencies, what are your strengths, what are your resources, where would you invest the resources, in which pursuit you will invest, and what would give you relatively better returns. Now obviously your choice will boil down to the particular option which will ensure better return on your investment. And is it that you have infinite resources? No, it's limited. So what can be done with that resources, and what are your objectives for the time period which you are defining, and what you want to achieve out of it. So results are going to be the criteria, and you will definitely have to work out your strategy with these considerations. So when you are looking at it, now the values plays a very, very key important role, and that's where let's look at the Levi-Strauss value systems and read through it. Any questions, any specific points, we will expand on it. Maybe start reading it one paragraph. I think all four of us, we will do it, so that so we get that small pause to contemplate. Maybe start off. So the values.
Our values are fundamental to our success.
Louder.
Values. Our values are fundamental to our success. They are the foundation of our company, define who we are, and set us apart from the competition. They underlie our vision of the future, our business strategies, and our decisions, actions, and behavior. We live by them. They endure. Four core values are at the heart of Levi-Strauss & Co. Empathy, originality, integrity, and courage. These core values are linked. As we look at our history, we see a story of how our core values work together and are the source of our success.
Stop. So the 4 points, just keep revisiting that. Empathy, originality, integrity, and courage. These are what are recognized as the 4 fundamental constituents of the values as developed within the Levi-Strauss organization. And this should have happened over a time period, and these have been recognized as the core principles and what will contribute to the value of the organization. Empathy, originality, integrity, and courage. Let's look into now each of these individually. Let's go on to empathy. Empathy is walking in other people's shoes. Empathy begins with listening, paying close attention to the world around us, understanding, appreciating, and meeting the needs of those we serve, including consumers, retail customers, shareholders, and each other as employees. R&D covering most of the stakeholders in this particular process. Then Levi-Strauss and Jacob gave his listen. Jacob was a tailor. Now this is a little bit of background about how this organization started off in the 1870s. So what is given? Jacob was a tailor who in the 1870s first fashioned heavy cotton cloth, thread and metal rivets into sturdy waist overalls for miners seeking durable work pants. Levi in turn met Jacob's needs for patenting and mass production of the product, enthusiastically embracing the idea and bringing it to life. The rest is history. The two created what would become the most popular clothing in the world, blue jeans. Now reflect back on this. Who is your customer? That means this product was developed keeping into mind a sturdy, thick clothing which will take care of the interest of the customer, in this case, the miner. And see, that particular pursuit has led into the development of a new product, which is the blue jeans, which has become an iconic or a legendary product. Yes or no? Let's go ahead. Come on, you read. And simply do closer. You proceed next to it. So that you know.
Our space filled with relevant examples of paying attention to
Be a little louder.
our space filled with relevant examples of paying attention to the world around us. We listened, we innovated, we responded. As early as 1926 in the United States, the company advertised in Spanish, Portuguese, and Chinese, reaching out to specific groups of often neglected consumers. In the 1930s, consumers complained that the metal rivets on the back pockets of our jeans tended to scratch furniture, saddles, and car seats. So we redesigned the way the pockets were sewn,
Placing the rivets underneath the fabric.
placing the rivets underneath the fabric. In 1982, a group of company employees asked senior management for help in increasing awareness of a new and deadly disease affecting their lives. They quickly became a business leader in promoting its awareness and education.
Stop there. Look at this. These are now in the words of the founders, Levi Strauss and Jacob Davis, wherein they are just touching on some major milestones in which the, say like milestones in the path of the journey and the growth of this organization. So what is he talking about? What is he sort of highlighting? We innovated, we responded, and we paid attention to the world around us. Are you getting it? So the main points what he's touching on. In 1928, the company advertised in Spanish, Portuguese, and Chinese, reaching out to specific groups of often neglected consumers. What is the opportunity that they saw there? That there were customers in this region, in Spain, Portugal, China, but those consumers' needs were not being met. So that was a great opportunity what they saw by willing to sort of look into the possibilities. Then the next point, in the 1930s, consumers complained that the metal rivets on the back pockets of our jeans tended to scratch furniture, saddles, and car seats. So we redesigned the way the pockets were sewn, placing the rivets underneath the fabric. This talks about their core competencies. They listen to their customer. See the interaction, it goes back. The customers had a genuine problem. That means it was spoiling their furniture, saddles, those points. Now, again, they mentioned saying that those metal rivets were not useful. They were to enhance the strength. At the same time, you required it to build into the value of the product. So, it was related to the product and service. The customer suggesting something based upon their experience, how the organization took advantage of that feedback, modified the products, and ensured value back to the customer, and in the process got a kind of reputation which enhanced the organization's business. The next one, in 1982, a group of company employees asked senior management for help in increasing awareness of a new and deadly disease affecting their lives. Many people were also becoming victims of AIDS, and the company quickly became a business leader in promoting AIDS awareness and education. Now, is this relevant? Yes, because what their stakeholders wanted, their primary stakeholder, the internal stakeholder, the employees wanted something, the organization was willing to look into it and accordingly took on this necessary steps. Sorry. And then, what's the next? After this?
We believe in empathetic marketing,
Yeah.
which means that we walk in our consumer shoes.
Yeah.
In the company's early years, that meant making durable clothes for workers in American West.
Yeah.
Now, it means responding to the casual clothing needs of a broad range of consumers around the world. Understanding and appreciating needs, consumer insight, is central to our commercial success. Being empathetic also means that we are inclusive. Levi-Strauss sturdy work pants are sold worldwide in more than 80 countries. Their popularity is based on their
Egalitarian appeal and originality.
egalitarian appeal and originality. They transcend cultural boundaries. Levi's being the pants without pretense are not just for any one part of the society. Everyone wears it. Inclusiveness underlies our consumer marketing belief that way of doing business. We bring our Levi's and Dockers brands to consumers of all ages and lifestyles around the world. We reflect the diverse world we serve through the range and relevancy of our products and the way we market them.
Stop. What's the essence that you're getting out of this statement of the owners of this or the founders of this organization? Empathetic marketing. You understand the significance of the word empathy? Empathy, word meaning will say, you know, you wear the other person's shoes and you know where it literally pinches you. That means if that question yesterday what we said, would you do something to others what you would not expect them to do to you? So this is where that empathetic marketing is a stretch, a kind of a value system within this organization, ensuring that people do work on those specific, wonderful, great. So Dockers and the Levi's brands, all those things, you know, so you have put there that registered all these kind of messages, the brand names plus that cash, what you call as a lead phrase, all are registered copyright material of the organization. To that extent, they are so protective about their identity. All those registered trademarks when you see, and then even there are a couple of more statements which about the organization. And then they transcend cultural boundaries. Pant without pretense are not just for any one part of the society. Everyone wears them. That means their customer, they have not put any kind of restriction. The entire world is their market. Move on.
Likewise, our company workforce
This is now we are talking in terms of the employees, how their value systems, in terms of the original empathy, the core value on which the organization has grown. That's where you're talking about marketing. We already seen products, how they responded. You are seeing now in terms of the employees. Go ahead.
Mirrors the marketplace in its diversity, helping us to understand and address differing consumer needs. We value ethnic, cultural, and lifestyle diversity, and we depend and draw upon the varying backgrounds, knowledge, point of view, and talents to each other. As colleagues, we also are committed to helping one another succeed. We are sensitive to each other's goals and interests, and we strive to ensure our mutual success through exceptional leadership, career development, and supporting workplace practices. Empathy also means engagement and compassion. Giving back to the people we serve and the communities we operate in is a big part of who we are. Levi Strauss was both a merchant and a philanthropist, a civic-minded leader who believed deeply in community service. His way lives on. The company's long-standing traditions of philanthropy, community involvement, and employee volunteerism continue today and contribute to our commercial success.
Very, very clear that all their kind of social responsibility strategy have all been intertwined and how it has resulted in their business growing, making better commercial viability of the business. It's sustained and it is developing the business. So that is empathy part of it. Touching on originality, being authentic and innovative. Levi Strauss started it and forever earned a place in history. Today, the Levi's brand is an authentic American icon, known the world over. Rooted in the rugged American West, Levi's jeans embody freedom and individuality. They are young at heart, strong and adaptable. They have been worn by generations of individuals who have made them their own. They are a symbol of frontier independence, democratic idealism, social change and fun. Levi's jeans are both a work pant and a fashion statement, at once ordinary and extraordinary. Collectively, these attributes and values make the Levi's brand unlike any other. Innovation is the hallmark of our history. It started with the Levi jeans, but that pioneering spirit permeates all aspects of our business. Innovation in product and marketing, workplace practices, and corporate citizenship. Creating trends, setting new standards, continuously improving through change. Some of the examples are, we were the first US apparel company to use radio and television to market our products. With the introduction of the Dockers brand in 1986, we created an entirely new category of casual clothing in the United States, bridging the gap between suits and jeans. A year later, Dockers khakis had become the fastest growing apparel brand in history. Throughout the 90s, we were instrumental in changing what office workers wear on the job. Our European Levi's brand team reinvented classic 5-pocket jeans in 1999. Inspired by the shape and movement of the human body, Levi's engineered jeans were the first ergonomically designed jeans. Wonderful, isn't it? How do you look at this development? The innovation aspect of it, when the originality, that means they want to be the pioneer and innovator. So the focus of the organization has been on innovation. Their core competencies have been, and this has come out of their value statements. So please, yes. Then the next one, for the read up, integrity. See, these points are quite clear, right? See, like there's no need of any specific explanation. That means breaking, going into the television and using that media, radio, then specifically.
They will put catering them to the same. Officers as well as youngsters.
Youngsters. And that nice statement in their value statements, bridging the gap between suits and jeans. That means there was something which is very, very formal, and the other one which is extremely casual, which is the jeans. Now, in between, the Dockers brand filled up. Now, this is an opportunity which they have been able to fill up. The need was there because of this value system, because of their innovation, because of their originality. They have been able to take advantage of the market
They could
space.
sense the market.
Right. Integrity.
So there's no factor of question.
Yeah.
Now, more than ever, constant and meaningful innovation is critical for commercial success. The worldwide business environment is fiercely competitive. Global trade, instantaneous communications, and the ease of market entry are among the forces putting greater pressure on product and brand differentiation. To be successful, it is imperative that we change completed in new and different ways that are relevant to the shifting times. As the makers and the keepers of Levi Strauss' legacy, we must look at the world with fresh eyes and use the power of ideas to improve everything we do across all dimensions of our business, from modest improvements to total reinvention. We must create product news that comes from all of
The core qualities.
the core qualities of our brands: comfort, style, value, and the freedom of self-expression, attributes that consumers love and prefer.
Right.
Integrity, doing the right thing. Ethical conduct and social responsibility characterize our way of doing business. We are honest and trustworthy. We do what we say we are going to do. Integrity includes a willingness to do the right thing for our employees, brands, the company, and society as a whole, even when personal, professional, and social risks or economic pressures confront us. This principle of responsible commercial success is embedded in the company's experience. It continues to anchor our beliefs and behaviors today, and is one of the reasons consumers trust our brands. Our shareholders expect us to manage the company this way. It strengthens brand equity and drives sustained profitable growth and superior return on investment. In fact, our experience has shown that our profits through principles approach to business is a growing competitive advantage.
Have you seen here what we talked about? The integrity part. That is a value which is shared among all the employees across the organization. How it has garnered support for the brand to be developed, the business to be well accepted, and the people trusting. The trust element has come in because of this integrity aspect. Yeah? This value-based way of working results in innovation. Our commitment to equal employment opportunity and diversity predates the US civil rights movement and federally mandated desegregation by 2 decades. We opened integrated factories in California in the 40s and 50s. We combined our need for more production and our desire to open manufacturing plants in the American South into an opportunity to make change. We led our industry by sending a strong message that we would not locate new plants in southern towns that impose segregation. Our approach changed attitudes and helped to open the way for integration in other companies and industries. In 1991, we were the first multinational company to develop a comprehensive code of conduct to ensure that individuals making our products anywhere in the world would do in safe and healthy working conditions and be treated with dignity and respect. Our terms of engagements are good for the people working on our behalf and good for the long-term reputation of our brands. Trust is the most important value of a brand. Consumers feel more comfortable with brands they can trust. Increasingly, they are holding corporations accountable not only for their products but also for how they are made and marketed. Our brands are honest, dependable, and trusted, a direct result of how we run our business. Integrity is woven deeply into the fabric of a company. We have long believed that quality never goes out of style. See, even that statement is registered with the company. Our products are guaranteed to perform. We make them that way. But quality goes beyond products. We put quality in everything we do. Courage. Standing up for what we believe. It takes courage to be great. Courage is a willingness to challenge hierarchy, accepted practices, and conventional wisdom. Courage includes truth-telling and acting resolutely in our beliefs. It means standing by our conviction. For example, it took courage to transform the company in the late 1940s. That was when we made the tough decisions to shift from dry goods wholesaling, which represented the majority of our business at the time, and to focus instead on making and selling jeans, jean jackets, shirts, and western wear. It was a foresighted, though risky, decision that enabled us to develop and prosper. In the 80s, we took a similar bold step to expand the US channels of distribution to include two national retail chains, CSR and JCPenney. We wanted to provide consumers with greater access to our products. The move resulted in lost business in the short term because of a backlash from some important retail customers, but it set the stage for substantial growth. We also demonstrated courage in our workplace practices. In 1992, Levi Strauss & Company became the first Fortune 500 company to extend full medical benefits to domestic partners of employees. While controversial at the time, this action foreshadowed a widespread acceptance of this benefit and positioned us as a progressive employer with prospective talent. What's the point? The families of the employees were covered in what? Their medical benefits, what they were offering to the employees. That means beyond the employee, his family was also taken into consideration. That means they were the kind of employers who didn't look at the human resource as just a few resources. He extended his mindset, their own value systems included the members who are affected and affecting the employee. Get this point? These are where those values are taken into consideration. And with courage and dedication, we act our insights and beliefs, addressing the needs of those we serve in relevant and significant ways. We do this with unwavering commitment to excellence. We hold ourselves accountable to attaining the high performance standards and build our brands and results that are inherent in our goals. We learn from our mistakes, we change. This is how we build our brands and business. This is how we determine our own destiny and achieve our vision of the future. The story of Levi Strauss & Company and our brands is filled with examples of the key role our values have played in meeting consumer needs. Likewise, our brands embody many of the core values that our consumers live by. This is why our brands have stood the test of time. Generations of people have worn our products as a symbol of freedom and self-expression in the face of adversity, challenge, and social change. They forged a new territory called the American West. They fought in wars for peace. They instigated counter-culture revolutions. They tore down the Berlin Wall. Reverent, irreverent, they all took a stand. Indeed, it is this special relationship between our values, our consumers, and our brands that is the basis of our success and drives our core purpose. It is the foundation of who we are and what we want to become. And thereafter, he defines the vision in such a short, brief manner. People love our clothes and trust our company. We will market the most appealing and widely worn casual clothing in the world. We will clothe the world. Yeah. He's covering all the things what we talked in theory.